1, 2, you hear the clock ticking, tick tock. You about to stop living, tick tock. I want you to remember me, tick tock. But the dead don't have no memory. I'm coming. Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody control me. I'm coming. I'm here to do my thing. I'm here to bring the pain. I'm never ever gonna change. I'm coming. No.
With me right now is my bro, Eternal George. Had to give him the government name, bro.
All official.
Yeah, people gotta know who you are, man.
That's right, that's right.
Nah, thanks for coming on, my man. How you been, bro?
Good, just enjoying it, chilling, soaking in Australia, almost 3 years. Yeah.
3 years?
3 years. Oh, it is 3 years actually. It is 3 years.
It doesn't feel like you've been here that long, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, I've been undercover.
Oh man. Hey, I feel like we need to start off with this story. Okay,
Yeah.
So we have kind of always had a connection, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. So I mean, that goes back to about 2006, 2007, maybe a little bit earlier. Back when we had the Krump forum, and it was all, we're all keyboard warriors. Do you want me to tell a story?
Tell it, you gotta tell it, bro, because you tell it way better than me.
So when I came up in the NZ Krump game, so when I was a bully nerd before I was Eternal, I was known as Ruff or King Ruff, like RUFF, and at that point in time we thought only New Zealand kind of was moving that way. And then one time my little homie who lives in Melbourne now, he was a Ruff, he comes back and goes, "Yo man, Aussie's got a Ruff." I was like, "Lies." And he goes, "Yeah, and you know what makes it worse?" I went, "What? His name's Pretty Ruff." I was like, "What the You never have the word pretty and rough together." I was like, "What?" And then, so we went to the internet cafe in our town and we looked up the Oz Krump forum and hello, pops up comments, "Pretty rough, da-da-da-da-da." I think back then you might have been like swinging words back and forth or scrap. I think it might have been.
Oh, mate, swinging words with everybody.
Somebody anyway, but I interject. I was like, "Yo, who's this Pretty Rough? I'm King Rough from NZ. There's no such thing as a Pretty Rough. I invented the name. Me, you need to get it. Rounds." And it was like, I think, you get so caught up in the moment. I'm back in Wanganui, New Zealand. I think you responded back like, "Yep." And I was like, "Yeah." Go back home and go to my fam, "Right, who's got money to go to Australia?" He's got money to go to Australia. That's how it ended. And then when I came to Melbourne first time last year, and I was jamming, like when the Mob did a tour and I was dancing with them, and then Pretty Rough was getting thrown around as a name, but like when I got here I knew who MVP was. I don't know you, but like I was like, "Oh yo, that's MVP," and everyone was talking about you. And then because you were in Perth, they were in the Mob.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, I was in Perth. Yeah.
You were in Perth, and then the boys were like, "Oh, where's MVP?" And then someone was talking. I was like, "Who's MVP? Is there a new gen?" And they're like, Nah, he's an OG. I was like, "Oh." And then they go, "His name was Pretty Rough." I was like, "Oh, I know this."
I've been looking for that guy.
I've been looking 10 years later. And then I was like, "Oh, that's Pretty Rough." And then we didn't actually G it up until Blackouts, eh?
Yeah, was that last year?
Last year, December Blackout. Our mans came through as a second MC and whatnot, and just to support it. And then like we were chilling and vibing at the house, and I was just like, I thought I better break that conversation. I was like, "Bro, you know how you're Pretty Rough?" Yeah. And then I think the minute we spoke about it, both our minds were like,
"Bro, yeah." We had that like moment where it was like,
Oh man, if I could go back then and just greet my younger self, boy, I would have encouraged him. "That's the one word, bro. Get in there. You type those words."
Bro, it was pretty funny, bro, because it's like, we both had the same name, and like back in the days, you don't do that in the Krump game. Like, hey, you got my name, we got to battle for that name. Someone has to give up that name.
100%.
But it was just hard because we lived in different countries, eh?
Yeah.
But like, you were doing your thing, coming up, building up the Rough name. I'm in Australia, building up the same thing.
I know, right? And I think if you think of back then, if we had crossed paths, it's what you call it would have been a battle for existence. It wouldn't have been just taking the name. Like back then, you battled to take someone out of the Krump game. Period.
Facts.
I mean, on both ends of the spectrum, we both felt disrespected because someone else had our name. But now that we're grown men,
we sat down, we had a little chat about it, a little laugh about it.
But we both have established we still want to get that battle.
Oh, hey. Nah, yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah, later on.
Bro.
Has to happen later on time.
I just feel like it's just one of those battles. It's like, big setting.
Yes. Lights, camera, someone controlling the hype line, like really controlling it, keeping the people back. But nah, like I think back then it was, because if you think about the era back then, it was energy, whether it be positive energy or negative energy. And at that point of time, we felt like it was negative energy, but it was just like, it pushed me into the lab, just in case I encountered pretty rough, I had to be on, because I knew my Krump existence was on the line if it happened. So we in the lab, like me and the roughs, like, oh, that's what we're going to do. Let's find out how many roughs he's got. He's got this many. Oh, yeah, we've got 4. So we might be having 2 battles each. We need to recruit.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, you think about those, like you're talking about, how it was back then.
Yeah.
It's a little different nowadays, eh? Like,
yeah, 100%.
It's like, hey, we'll battle for a name, you battle for it, but like, nah, you have it, you just keep it anyway. Like,
yeah, but that's even like little homies. Like, I'll give you a story from my past. So like, when I was a rough, my first little homie Jay Ruff, and everyone, even Black Magic, aka the Style Bender, can contest this because we were in the same fam and he's seen it. I wanted to pick up this dude Jay. His name was Boy Trouble. He was part of this crew called T Fam in Wanganui, and they were 13 deep. And we were talking, and he's like, yo man, I love the rough, so I want to be a rough. And so I went over. So this is the respectful thing we felt to do back then. I approached the whole T fam. I was like, yo, your boy wants to be a rough. How do we do it? And the dude at the time, his name was Trouble or Harley. He goes, well, you got to run through all of us. And so in Wanganui, we had this thing called Grime Time every Thursdays, where all the Krump crews got together in the street setting, and we would just had these set battles. And so for the next 13 weeks, I battled one at a time. And I had to win. So I keep winning. And I got to the end, I cleaned up the whole fam, and I said, all right, now we'll cage you. And I ended up caging them. And then he became my first little homie. And like I can name people who can contest all this, that they were there, they saw it was evident. But back then, if you wanted someone else's little homie, you had to prove to the big homie that you could run it, like you could hold weight. And and not saying it's a bad thing now, but man, I see so many people carrying so many names, I get confused.
Yeah, but what? Yeah,
I just call them by the government name now. Like I don't know what to call them. Are you Jay Stairs? Are you Little Fridge? Are you Twin Window? Like I don't get it. So I'll just call you from your government name now because it's confusing.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. But I mean, like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but coming from the era that I came from, it was like your name had so much weight behind it. Like there was not only a story, there was a legacy. It was your big homie's efforts, and so like for another big homie to come and take you, they had to match that. Not saying that people don't, but man, I'm just like I see so much. Yeah, it's weird to me. It's just weird. Maybe it's the way I think.
Yeah, I think like with so many different names, like you should be having different styles to go with those names.
Yep.
But there's all these names, and I just feel like all these names dance the same. You know what I mean? So for me, like, doesn't make sense that this person's carrying all these names. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel the same. Like I feel the same, and maybe it's because I got uneducated eyes. I don't know, but like I mean, I'm 14 years deep. You know what I mean?
Mate, they're pretty educated, mate. Them eyes are educated, mate.
And like I mean, and I and if I talk about New Zealand, because I'm still fresh in Australia, but in New Zealand, man, like I've seen eras and styles change. And you see the difference in someone when they're under somebody. Like whenever someone went under Alien, man, they started producing that real heavy Alien swag. If they were emo, like the emos always look different to the Aliens.
Yeah.
Even though they were under the same dude.
And you could see it. Like that's what I'm trying to say too. Like
you could see it. It's like Yak when Yak became Baby Angel or an Angel. Like whenever he danced as an Angel, it was always different to how he danced as a Yak. He knew how to split the two. 100%, I hear what you're saying, and now it's like you do see cats with 4 different names, but I just see the government name dancing because I don't know, you can't see the difference unless it's like one move, like they jab differently to how that name jabs, and they stomp differently, and maybe I'm missing it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like since we're talking about the whole rough thing, I haven't used that name in years, bro. But like when people still call me that, you know, I try to eliminate I try to
actually
change.
been popping up. Like, aren't you badly someone?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Kid antagonized. She inboxed me and she was like, "Hey, do you have a battle at the next level?" And I was like, "Are you trying to call me out?"
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh yeah, kind of." And then she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna post it up on a page. Should I post Pretty Rough or MVP?" And then I replied to her and I said, "I'll let you decide who you want to see at the next level."
Oh, yo.
And then she goes, "I think I know who I want to see." And she goes, "I want Pretty Rough."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, are you sure you want that?"
That's the thing. Like, that's how you know, like, you've kind of built something behind a name where you can be diverse between two different names. And someone from the gym, like, Alina's only 15, 16, so she's like...
She's
she
amazing, man.
She was like, what, maybe 6 when you were dancing?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so when you were Pretty Rough, she was 6. But then she says to you, she knows who she wants to call out. She wants to call out Pretty Rough. Someone that doesn't even dance in her era anymore. So that means that you've built something with that name. You know, there's something that's recognizable that she wants to taste that. You know what I mean? Not in that sense, but you know.
Yeah.
She wants a bit of that in the battle.
Yeah, so it's good too. She's actually challenging me to like, you know, dig deep, you know, to like go back to that place, which I'm actually pretty excited to do, you know, like it's been a while, but we gonna bring it back.
Well, I think like on that sort of note, I think that's, and I'm not here to point fingers, but I think sometimes that's the difference between, and I'll talk for New Zealand, like the difference between the OG and the new gen, you know, like every week we had to dig deep, like I remember all us bully nerds, we only had one DVD, Blood Brothers, and we watched that for about 4 months straight. We didn't have YouTube, but we didn't have constant footage uploaded. We didn't have none of that. We were digging deep every week. We'd go to an area, and we didn't know if there were crumpers. Like we knew there was one crumper, but they might be 30 man deep. So we're like, there's 30 crumpers. You didn't know who was who in the zoo until you got called out. You know, and even like beef battles or call out battles, it wasn't like 6 weeks prior. Like I'm gonna give you notice for a call out battle. Get your tracks. Do you want to do 2 rounds? It was like we'll turn up to a spot. Like, are you guys crumpers? Yeah, we'll get you a battle. Like, damn, who am I battling? And you're on edge. Like, you see 30 people, like, are they a crumper? Are they a crumper? And there's not 2 get caught, like, damn, he's a crumper? And then you walk away, and then there's no more footage for 6 months, and you're like, damn, who's active? Like,
that's so true, man.
And so, you know, because you're not seeing anything, you've got to stay on your toes. You know, people get complacent because they're watching so much, and like, yeah, man, I'll just study your footage, and if I battle you, I know where to get you. Imagine if you didn't see something for 6 months and then they called you out. I bet you'd be like, damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like, I'll tell you what, and I told this to plenty of people. People in NZ to keep me on my toes. Like, I got love for my fam and my people. Like, I love them. I battle them, that's cool. People like Alien. Like, he's undercover. And I guarantee you, every time he turns up to a session or an event, people do these things. They're like, oh, Alien's here. They start looking around like, man. You know, you can tell that they got that nervous look like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna call in there. Like, they're like, hey bro, are you here to dance? You know, like that kind of fishing, like, oh man, who are you gonna battle? Cause that dude, man, like, you don't see him active on the screens, but that dude is like, he labs up here, labs everywhere, and you know he's always on. You know, and those are the people that kind of get me worried. Like, you hear a name and you see nothing. You go to a event and this dude or this chick is just floating, and you know they're like, damn, I do not know what they're bringing. And that was what we went through back in our era. I'm talking like 2005 upwards to about 2010.
Yeah.
You know, and a story that I can, again, from the archive of Eternal.
Bring all that out, man.
We were chilling back home, and we're having a housewarming, and it was me, Black Magic, Slinks, J Ruff, Lil Ruff, Lady Ruff, and a couple others, but we were having a house party. And then 9:30 at night, we get this phone call, and it was Angel, Big Angel, and he's like, yo, is this the Bully Nerds, this and that? We're like, yeah. He goes, oh, we're coming to battle you guys. And we're like, oh, when? They're like, we'll be in Wanganui in about 10 minutes. And they live 2.5 hours away from us. And we're like, what?
Oh, shit, so they were already on the way, bro.
They were already on the way. 9:30 at night, we get this phone call, and like, we're in the middle of a big housewarming party. We start telling everyone, like, yo, we got these crumpers coming, we need to make a circle in our driveway. And you know, we didn't have speakers back then, so we backed the car up with the subwoofer in it, waiting for them. These dudes turn up. It was Big Angel, J Angel, Killer Convert, and Raw. And we ain't ever seen them. We just knew they wanted to battle us. And we're just like, oh man, who's got who? And I battled J Angel. It was Magic and Angel, J Ruff and Killer Convert. And I think it was Little Ruff or Slinks and Raw. And you know, I'm just like, man, I was thinking about telling that's a call out. Like, we were just in our normal living situation. We had 10 minutes to get ready.
The home phone, mate.
And like, we had just dropped our first couple of beers too. We were brushing our teeth because we were there like beer breath in that session circle and like drinking water, trying to like freshen up. Like, oh man, we're on that. And but you know, like you gotta love shit like that. Like that's what a call out is.
It's buck, bro.
You know, like you just bam caught off guard. And like the dudes rang us 10 minutes before they hit our town. And it's a 2.5 hour drive. Like anyone in New Zealand knows how far it is between Wellington and Wanganui. You know, it wasn't none of this. I'm gonna give you a month's notice. I want to battle you, but at the next event, which is in 4 months' time. Fuck. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so buck, man. Like even you brought up Alien, but like I just got back from NZ, and the way that how he battled Bruiser, like it's probably the most buckest call out that I've seen in like forever. But the reason why is because it's like that's how we used to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen that been done like that for so long, and to see like, you know, we're just chilling at the back.
Rumor is they were having a cup of teas and biscuits.
Yeah.
Bit of a chin wag,
and then you know, Alien asked Jane White like, "Hey, you good?" Jane was like, "Yeah," and Alien's like, "Let's run some rounds." I was like, bro, this is insane, man, because we don't see this anymore.
You don't. And
we
people
don't see this anymore.
People talk about, like, why isn't it here? It's like, because you choose for not to be here. It's not like it has to be gone. It's like, you think about today, like, people want to be well prepared, which I get. Like, you know, how people, like, you go to events, there's going to be call-outs afterwards, but they stage the call-outs. Like, okay, give me who wants to make their call-out. Like, then it's not a call-out anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, have in your mind, if you go to a event, you want to call someone out after the event, you call them out or before. You know, that's to me, that's what a call out is. People making call outs at an event, so it's an event now. You go to an event, it finishes, and then you go, right, there were 7 call outs, so-and-so versus so-and-so, so-and-so versus, I'm like, that's another event. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, let it be. If it's only 2 battles, then it's only 2 battles, but I bet you there's going to be some damn hot battles. That's mindsets, eh? But like, I get it. I do, like, honestly, I get it. You gotta be prepared. You gotta get your notes. You gotta get the right track. You gotta get on point. You gotta study your opponent. You know, everyone's talking about like studying, like watch footage, study, watch footage. I say it like this: you can spend 2 days reading the road code and never driven a car. Just because you've read the road code doesn't mean you can drive. You still gotta hop in that car and learn how to drive. You know what I mean? You learn more by doing it than you do reading about it or studying it. You know, yeah, I get the aspect of it, but Crump's hands on, man.
Yeah.
Hands on.
Used to be King Ruff, obviously.
Yep.
We talked about that. How did you get Eternal? Where did that come from?
So for me, it's like, and I'll be honest, like I learned this from Black Magic. Like one thing Black Magic always said to me is like, your legacy will never be built by your own hands. You know what I mean? Like, you don't tell your story. Like, people don't remember the story because you tell it. They remember by other people telling the story, if that makes sense. And I wanted something.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I wanted something that lasted, you know. And the word eternal means forever. You know what I mean? The concept of eternal is what I wanted to embody in my dance. Like moments that people always remember, things that people talk about, things that I could stop dancing and people still talk about it in 2 to 3 years time. Like I'm not telling my own story. I'm not going, yo, I'm King Ruff. I did this, I did that. You know, like how Kayla's J Eternal now when she goes to NZ. They're like, oh yo, your big homie's eternal, and that's enough to be said. I'm like, now my legacy's building. You know what I mean? So for me, I wanted to embody that, like the purpose of the word eternal, like that. So like, whether it be through my kids, through my littles, through my friends, through my crews, that everything that I've accomplished or done on Krump, it just echoes into the future.
That's pretty cool. Makes perfect sense, because I feel like the names, like, you know, I love how people come up with their names, the stories behind it. So that's actually pretty cool. Stylebender. Let's go there for a bit.
Yep.
You see him now, world champion.
Yep.
Just defeated Robert Whittaker. How crazy is that? seeing him accomplish that, coming from, you know, you guys were the same crew back in the day. How's that, seeing him on the world stage like that, man? Pretty dope, eh?
Yeah, it's dope. And like, if you ask any of the ex-bully nerds, to us, that's the norm. That's like, yeah, we knew what's gonna happen, because he never believed in just doing enough. You know, like I met him. He was 17 and I was 23, and I was a b-boy and I wanted to become a crumper. And he's like, yo. And then I said to him, I said, what do I need to do? And he goes, we need to get in the lab. I'm like, what the fuck is a lab? Like, we like scientists or some shit? He goes, that's what crumpers do. And then from day dot, when I said, yeah, he was at my house every day. We were just lab. And he always gave constructive criticism about me and him and what we could achieve. And he always said, like, whatever we achieve today needs to be better tomorrow. That was always his mindset, you know, like, you got to bury, you know, whatever you achieve today is the stepping stone for tomorrow. And that's how we led and we pushed and we drove. And I knew from day dot he was, whether being dance or anything he put his hand to, he was going to be great, because he never settled for the status quo, or he never rested on his laurels. You know, he always thrived and strived to be better. And that's how we did. I remember when we because outside of Black Magic was his first initial name, which is where King Cookie and Jesse from here, they were Magics. And then when he came in, we started up the Willow fam. So I was a little Willow. And
the Willows.
He got it from the Wampi Willow tree from Harry Potter. Like, he liked that big wavy style, because he had like those long Negro arms. And so we started smashing out, and every time we won a battle, it's like, what's our next one? And that was his drive, you know, like, you win today, you got to get to the next one. And
yeah.
So when he became a fighter, like, I told him, like, I got friends here, I got friends in New Zealand, so watch. I keep telling him, watch for this guy, Israel Adesanya, in the UFC. He'll hit it, guns blazing, and he'll be a champ. And I remember I got a couple of friends here. They're like, I ain't never heard of him. He had his breakout fight last year in Perth, and like, yo, he's right, he's pretty average. I'm like, and then I'm just like, okay. And now the other ones blow me up, like, yo. I had a dude who caught a photo of him at his fight in Melbourne, and he texted me, yo, man, I had a photo of your mate, Israel. Yes, I was like, yeah, that's the guy that you said was average, remember? So I post that to him. But
it's crazy, like, seeing him just the way he is, because it's fun when I see people online, you know, like, oh, this guy's a show off, blah, blah, all that, talks too much, blah, blah. He's always been like this, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just who he is.
Day dot. In crime, like, in life in general, he's larger than life. You know what I mean? Like, how he is, he's got a boisterous laugh, he's loud, you know, he's funny, and like, he likes to be the center of attention, and that's him, you know, we know no other. And so when people say, like, you know, they're telling him not to be him as a person, when they say you shouldn't be like that, you should be more humble, like, what the heck is humble?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, like, he is in a way, you know, like, if you actually know him, like, I'm in for the first time in Krump, that's 2018. That was the first time I met most of the NZOGs that we used to go back and forth with online, and I'd asked him about his upcoming fight. It was before he was fighting Derek Brunson. And, you know, he was just like cool as can be, bro, and I was like, nah, this dude's actually like pretty humble. Like, everything that I'd heard about him, I was like, hey, nah, this guy's like legit, like, cool guy, man.
Yeah. Well, his grassroots look like, when he came, he had every session or every event in Auckland for Krump, you know.
He was there not long ago.
When I went back for 2016, that's like, I just hopped off the plane and I'm walking into the venue. There's this Georgie, and then, like, you know, he comes right up and he's just picking me up, and then he's in my corner like I was back in the Bully Nerds days. Every time I dance, I just see this big black guy go, let's go. But, you know, like, he's still grassroots in what he does, but like, he just, like, I wouldn't know him to be quiet and humble, you know. I'd be like, I'd think something's wrong if he was that way. I'm like, what's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's
cool.
He's cool
for
people.
him, man. It's crazy, like, and the way that he's representing for Krump, you know, the whole entrance, his last thing, like, he's just representing, you know, who he is. You know, that's who he is. He's a Krumper. He came up. That's how he started.
100%.
And now he's sharing that with the world, which I think is so cool, because I feel like a lot of Krumpers, you know, if they make it to that level, they kind of, you know, put Krump to the
Well, he's kind of he set the bar too, but he's put Krump on a different platform all over again. You know, like you got the creators and eyes of them doing what they're doing. You got like B-Dash and Concrete and like the World of Dance. And now all of a sudden everyone's blowing up about this UFC fighter who does a Krump intro. You know, and with his OG boys like Jesse.
OG guys, Jesse.
Yeah, you know, I'm just like, and for him it was an embodiment of who he was, and that kind of showed for me. The picture I saw was the intro was his starting point, and the fighting is his now point. You know, and what happens after fighting?
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, you know, so he's shown what his legacy is.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, you came up in the NZ scene.
Deep
in the NZ scene.
Deep.
Very deep.
Very deep.
Give me.
I can tell you some stuff.
Hey, that's where I'm getting to right now, man.
Yeah. What you want to know?
Give me like, you know, a couple iconic memories, stories from when you were coming up.
Okay, I'll give you 3.
Alright, let's go.
3. Okay. So like everyone knows that like me and CT are tight. Like that's my homie. That's my like blood wouldn't make us any closer.
Shout out to CT, man.
Yo, CTX over here. But before that all kind of came together, he was Greedy and I was Eternal. And actually before I was Eternal, I was King Rough. And there was this event happening in this place called Napier in 2007, I think it was. And it was, they called it New Zealand 16 Man. So it was like top New Zealand 16 Man, but they weren't as like alien, they wasn't part of it. But anyway, it was like the likes of myself, Black Magic, Juice, J Juice, Greedy. You know, everyone knew who Greedy was. Yeah, I was a heavy 16 anyway. Yeah. And everyone, when we got there, everyone talked about, everyone already pictured the finals. I was like, it's me, Black Magic and Greedy. We're Black Magic and Greedy. I'm like, I'm saying it. We're Black Magic and Greedy. I'm thinking like, I might get 3rd, 4th. Like, you know, I'm already like downplaying myself. Well, the first matchup was Greedy versus Black Magic. Everyone just jaw dropped like, what? Because what they were doing
was that random?
Yeah, they're just drawing names out of the hat, you know what I mean? And everyone's just shocked, you know, like when there's that dead. So I was like, what? This should be in the finals. Yeah. Anyway, Greedy got him good. Because I think Black Magic was stunned by it too. And anyway, Greedy gets through, and then like I start progressing, and we start progressing, and then like Magic's going to be like, it's going to be you and Greedy in the finals. I'm like, it's going to be me and Greedy in the finals. And anyway, everything was done on the stage, and all the dancers were allowed to be backstage, and then backstage, like Greedy had like his fam was like 9 deep, and he's labbing this killer hat trick, and like everyone knows, man, I suck at hat tricks. I choose not to do them. I mean, anyway, Greedy had this killer hat trick, and like it looked like some sort of levitation stuff going on, and he's popping it off, and he's catching it, and we're watching him labbing, and he's like looking at me like, yeah, it's coming for you, boy, and he's like booming, and his boy's like, ah, and like my mind, I'm like, I got nothing for that at all. Like I'm running my arsenal in my head.
It's funny because I know like the feeling. Yeah. Like
I'm running the arsenal and I'm like, no, that's not, no. I'm like, damn. And anyway, so we get on stage and then we do the paper, scissors, rock, and he goes first and he's grinning to me like he's like, I got this, because he knows I know what he's doing. Anyway, he's doing this he's getting it and he sets up and he goes to this hat trick and then he overdoes it and he drops the hat. And I'm like going, and then he's just like gobsmacked. I'm like, yeah. In my mind, I'm like,
oh my god.
And then because it just killed his whole game, and because he knew that was killer, and then I came out, I just killed a round, and then after that, the judges raised my hand. I'm like, champ. And the cool thing about Alize is he's humble. He's like, nah, and I'm sure he was crying. He's like, yeah, man, that was mean battle, King Rough, yeah, you know, in my mind. And like I tell you what, I said like, technically I didn't win because I was better than him. I won because he dropped his hat. But hey, and I had to mount the trophy was like this big, and then the next year I was meant to bring it because I meant to hand it over to the next person, and I didn't. And Alien won it the next year, and he always goes, Sully, where's my trophy? Because it was like about this big. He goes, wait, where's my trophy? I'm like, I'm not handing that one over to anybody.
Bro, that's funny, man, because like, as soon as you dropped the hat, your eyes went bigger.
Yeah, I'm like, that's my win. I got this, boys. I'm like, come on, boys, I got this.
Oh, man, that's cracked up.
The thing was, the way he reacted, everyone knew he just mucked up. Like, if he just carried on doing something, it could have covered up. But the fact he just
Is this on YouTube, man? Because
I don't even know if YouTube was around then.
Oh,
I think it was still done on a shoulder camera. Gotta watch it on VHS. So that's one. A second one was the build up of Alien versus Black Magic. Everyone talked about it. So the pinnacle of New Zealand was Alien and Black Magic, Alien, Black Magic, and this was on the cusp of basically Magic starting his fighting career, like just as an amateur Muay Thai fighter. And we had to kill off one. Alien came down. Me and him met in the finals of that one, and he won that one. And then anyway, we had a thing called the Aftermath, was just straight. It was all street raw battles. So we always made sure there was no beef battles or street hype battles at events. That way it was crowd friendly, and all that stuff was for dancers only. So we put this grimy ass spot. We had to take a generator, floodlights and speakers and stuff, and we set it up. And everyone went there because they just wanted to see Alien versus Black Magic, right?
That's pay-per-view, man.
Yeah, so you had a few battles beef up beforehand. There was one with Monster. I can't remember his name. Or Gennady was B-Boy versus Mav, because there was a lot of beef talk there. A couple other battles, and it was like, here it is, the main event. Anyway, so Magic's like, I'm going first. And he had this like whole fight intro. He put this water in his mouth. He come down, he's flapping his jacket, and he goes... And like Triple H, like the game of sprays up and comes down, and then he just... Our generator ran out, and the lights cut off, the music cut off, and we had no spare picture for the generator. And then Black Magic goes, he looks at me and goes, man, I'm out of here. And he left. He just walked off and left.
Holy crap.
And I to this day, I don't even know if they got that battle in anywhere else or at any other time. Like, if they did, ain't nobody heard about it, but it was meant to happen there and then. But because we were broke and didn't have enough money for more petrol, we found that on petrol.
Bro, the undercard battles used up the freaking...
But the thing was that it was the intro that comes out like the game, water in his mouth. What it made it even better, I was standing next to him and he puts his foot on my chest and he pushes me up slowly like a Muay Thai teep. Yeah. I'm like, oh, he's in character. Damn. Blows his water up and then... and it goes like pitch black. We're like, oh. We go over to the generator, we got no more petrol. We're like, where's the petrol can? And we're like, oh, it's in the car that went home.
Oh my god, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Ailey will tell you about it. Magic will tell you about it. Everybody that was there. We had I think it was about 45 dancers there that night, man. Just raw dancers waiting to see that happen.
Bro, everybody, that's the battle, man.
That's the battle. That's the pinnacle. And another one, this is my third one, and this oh man, I've got to drop names on this one.
Drop the names.
If you're gonna hate me, you know I am. Anyway.
You know where to find it, man.
You know where to find me. So we had the following week, Kill Off 2. And Raw and Angel did a showcase battle. And something happened in that showcase battle that sparked off something. We didn't know what it was. And again, so we went to have an aftermath after that, and it was just all dancers. And then the first battle was going to pop off was a tag team battle. So we had two bully nerds, Raw and King Cry from Palmy, and Shakes and Yak. That was the tag team battle. We're like, yo, this is heavy. And I went, one of the bully nerds, Shakes, Raw, Yak, Raw, Shakes, Raw, J Angel, Raw. Like the Raw, all the angels started mobbing on Raw. Like they were just packing them out over that beef between him and Big Raw. And this was in the closing session. I had people like there for like example, that was his first time, and then like he's freaking out. It's like, bro, we need to stop this. This isn't right. I'm like, man, it needs to happen. This is Krump. Like Yak and Shakes and Big Angel, they'll tell you all about it. And like they're just mobbing on Raw, and Raw's holding his ground. But the funny thing is this: earlier on that day, Raw came up, and this is the first time we met Omen. Omen was the driver, and he goes, Raw's like, oh yo, I'm like, oh yo, what's up? He goes, oh, my boy Raw. I'm like, nice. Raw's little homie, tight. And anyway, as Raw's getting bombed on, I go like, yo, boy Raw, Aiden, that's your big. You need to jump in and take his back. And he's like, oh, I haven't crumped yet. And he just faded back into the crowd. I'm like, man, how you come to this event telling us you have a Krump name, and then when your big homie's getting jumped, you just... I mean, he's buck now. Emma's buck now. And
hey, he whooped me, bro. He whooped me in 2015, bro.
And And if he wants to get heard about what I'm saying, hey, I'm here. But that side of things. But seeing something like that happen, like you don't see that happen these days. Like I said,
I know what you're saying, the way.
Like and no words were exchanged, but you could tell there was intense heat between it. And whatever the history was that caused it, we didn't need to know it, because we're not from Wellington. And whatever the beef was, it wasn't aired on the internet. It wasn't spoken about publicly. It wasn't like, let's rally everyone to hate this person. It was dealt with. Like a Krump situation was dealt with Krump. You had about 5 angels mobbing on Raw. And when it was all said and done, they went outside and they settled it. They spoke, they shook hands, they showed love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these days it's sort of like, man, I need to rally a petition and I need to put up a voting system. Who thinks I'm wrong in what I'm saying? And then we need to break down what they're saying, and there's a curriculum to what you say, and then you got to tick every box, and then it's like, since when did, it's like...
It's crazy, eh?
I tell people if I want a verbal debate, I'll go join politics, man. I'm here to Krump. Like, if my Krump can't do it for me, then I'm in the wrong dance. Simple as that, but... That there was the best thing I'd ever seen, man. And Raw's my homie, man. He's my boy.
Yeah,
and I loved watching him. I loved watching him getting banged on, man. He was getting banged. And because back then Raw he wasn't a lightweight, and like he's starting to breathe heavy. He's sucking in that wind. And Yak was antagonizing it, man. And like you want to see Yak, like the real Yak come out, put him in a street battle.
Yeah.
Put him in a street battle, man. You won't survive it. I'm gonna tell you right now. People talk about like how good they are, like take away the cameras, take away the lights, take away the fans, get real dirty and grimy on the street. Let's see if you can run it with Yak, because that, like, man, you watch them turn. There's certain people like that when they turn up, like, the camera's not fast enough to keep up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
douche Yak over here. Oh,
hey.
But I'll tell you now, like, and I tell people that's like, for me, there's 2 people that have stood out through the whole era of NZ Krump, and I even claim it today, and that's Alien and Yak. And I'll tell you why, because when they were coming up, when people started following them, they weren't just copying their dance style or copying their haircuts,
the clothes.
The clothes. I remember when Alien started wearing these like wooden gloves with the cut off fingers, and you start seeing it everywhere. Yak had that fringe and the hat sideways and these little beaded necklace
and the bright t-shirt.
Bright t-shirts with the checkered tops and the collar pop. You know what I mean? And Yak style, Yak was the first people I used to see like just really buck on the face, and this when I started seeing people trying to like imitate it, but it wasn't them, but they're trying to do it. Alien with his threads, with his awkward threads. When you have people who are unassociated to your fam trying to mimic you, you are setting the trend.
100%, bro.
You know what I mean? And even to today, I say like this was before we could tap into like workshops in concrete or slam or B-dash, and that people were trying to mimic them. So they were kind of like pioneering New Zealand's like Krump and the platform. The pillars like myself and Angel and CT, Mills. Like there's a few of us that were like in that same generation heavy, but I don't know, hand on heart, Yak and Alien they were above us.
Hand on heart.
Hand on heart.
That's the truth though, because like from Australia, from like on the outside looking in, those are the 2 names too. That was like, we heard all about these dudes, man.
And if Black Magic was still running then, it'd be those 3. You know what I mean? And I'm just being honest. Like I said, like CT's my boy, but he was dope. You know what I mean? He was dope in his own way, but there was just something different. Like, people have a certain charisma that just people want to be every part of that person, not just their dance. They want to talk like them. They want to walk like them. You know what I mean? I remember Alien used to be so chill, man. Like I remember going up to this event, and it was Bulliness versus UGK, and because I already knew about Alien, and I'm like, so we do this event. We run through the fams, and then they invite us back for food to his house. I'm like, I tell my whole family like, we're getting jumped. I guarantee you. They're gonna Krump jump us. I know what this dude's about. I know it. And cause we get to his house, and SARS, like they were like 30 deep there. The brothers, the cousins. I'm telling my boys, bro, we ain't eating. Cause I bought us a massive fish. Like, don't eat. Cause we're gonna get caged, I guarantee you. And we're sitting there and we start eating slowly. I said, like, Alien, is that happening? Like, what are we up to? He goes, no, we're just here to chill. I want you to meet my mom and dad. I was like, are you kidding? But But that's the persona Alien has. You got to be on your toes. You know, you can't think that he's, you know what I mean? Same with Yak.
Gonna have your guard up, eh?
Yeah, Yak's another one, man. He's a silent creeper. I remember, I'm going forever. Yak's, I'll tell you one more about Yak. We didn't even know Yak. I didn't even know who he was. We had our first kill-off, and so we lived in Wanganui where kill-off 1 was, and Yak was living in Christchurch, right? And this is when we were sending posters out on Bebo, like Bebo, kill-off 1, Wanganui. And so Yak, Praise, and Jay Angel drove all the way from Christchurch to Wanganui, which is about a 12-hour drive.
Oof.
And a 3-hour ferry. And at 2:30 in the morning, I had this.
And the ferry.
Yeah, at 2:30 in the morning, this. I open this door, and there's this little midget with blonde hair going, yo, Eternal? Or, you know, King Ruff? I was just trying to play. I was like, nah, who's that? He goes, oh, George? I went, oh, no, that's the neighbour's house. I'm like, no, George goes, Yak from Christchurch. I'm like, I never heard of Yak, but come on in. 2:30 in the morning, and then we sit down for 5 minutes, and next minute he wants to lab in my shed. You know, and that's how I remember Yak, you know, things like that. And try and get that now from people. Oh man, you gotta fly me out. I need you to get my accommodation. I need you to fly me out, get my accommodation. Like, do it for the love, man. If you love it,
12-hour drive in a ferry, mate.
Bruh.
Come on.
Bruh.
That's crazy.
And they just chill at our house, man. And like, I like that dude. Every time I see that dude Yak now, he's always taking a pair of shoes from me or a hat. Tell him. Every year, it's like, because we got the same size feet, even though he's a midget. And he's like, yo, you got any new shoes? But I got love for them. I got love for that. I love NZ, man. I love where it's going.
Same here, bro. I got mad love, respect for the NZ team, bro. Even the history, but just being a part of it as well. Like the last couple of years, been going back and forth. I was at Christchurch earlier this year. Krump Nats. I love it over there, man.
And I'll tell you what, the new gen now, they are living our dreams we had. And like, man, I'll take my hat off them like 12 and 13 and Saber. And there's a lot more, but sorry I mention you, but I don't know you.
Those are the 3 right now, man. Those are the hot dudes on fire right now.
They're on fire, man. And they're doing 10 times more than what we could.
Facts.
But I always say this, they never did what we did. You know what I mean? And the only reason why I believe they can do what they can do right now is because of what we did. You know, we were the ones getting laughed at. We were the ones told we weren't dancers. We were the ones told that we looked like angry people having fits with our arms, you know, trying to get people to fund our events, trying to get money to get dancers over. Like that was our era, and we grinded it, you know what I mean? You would know yourself, you know, getting laughed at by 10 people, but you get up and you go again. We're holding a Krump event, would you sponsor us? Krump, what the fuck's Krump? Are you those clowns? You know? Are you guys the one going like this? You ever have that when you're trying to get people to look, you know what I mean? And
tough times, man. Tough times.
No YouTube, no workshops.
Survived it.
America didn't even want to know who New Zealand was. You know what I mean? So you're trying to fly someone over to be a judge, it's like...
And then when we start getting tight, all of a sudden, it's like we're getting recognised and like they start taking our people too.
Man, there's so much pioneers between Australia and New Zealand. Like Australia, man, like I love the Aussie scene, man. And you know, like it's being in New Zealand, like you never, and I guess maybe the same way, you never really look over the ditch to see how good Australia is, but being in Australia, man, like so much talent, like the OG scene here, like, and I've been between Sydney and Melbourne, and I've just touched on Brisbane as well. The OG scene is super crazy, man, like the history, the depth, the knowledge, and even the new gen now, man, the way that they are surpassing. But man, I love the comment you said, you know, like the OGs are the history, man. But the new gen are what's going to take us into the future. And I 100%
kind of like we need each other in a way, you know. It
doesn't work. I mean, it's like you can't build a house just by starting by the walls. You know what I mean? And that's it. Like today's generation are the walls, which means tomorrow's generation is the roof of the house. So, but it starts at ground level. You know what I mean? Like it was our blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, like I said, I remember so many times. Go to a Krump event and there's 14 people there that aren't Krumpers. But you're still wilding out. You're still hyping the heck, man. You're still charging it. You know what I mean? You're still giving it everything you can. I remember going to events and you never ever saw Krumpers with headphones on against the wall in their own little chill zone, like trying to get their lab on. You know what I mean? Like it's like you on edge because you're like, barely knew, but man, it was like energy in the atmosphere. Our hype line, man, like you'd be battling in a circle like this, like brothers, brothers. I know I'm a tight dancer, but doesn't mean I'm being a tight circle. But you know what I mean? It's like the way the things have changed, and like some of it I like, and some of it I just think it's just shit. I'll be honest, that's just me. I don't mince words, but I'm excited to where it's going. You know, where it's going.
Actually, let me. Last thing before I let you go. Last year, Krump Nuts, there was a hype line.
Yo.
This year's Krump Nuts, they got rid of the hype line.
Perfect.
Was that? Were you happy when you heard?
Yes. But did you see my comment though? I know it's dirty, and you know, like.
Hey, that's how you are, mate.
You know, like,
as it is.
Yeah. You know, I love example. Hey, he's my boy. But you know, when I dropped the comment like, does this year's hype line come with, you know, binoculars because it's like 1K away from
I saw that. Usually go back and forth for a little bit too.
Yeah, and it's always gonna be that way with me, and like I'm always gonna contest it. Yeah, you need to. I mean, when someone put up the picture of Mio kicking that fella in the face, I'm like, man, that's the buckest shit I've ever seen. Like that's that 4D Krump. That's that 4D Krump right there. You know, I mean, like that's the risk you take. But being that so close to a dancer, that inspires you. You know, like I can't get inspired.
It's Krump, right?
Yeah.
It's Krump.
When I'm next to someone dancing, man, that energy is pushing. I'm like, damn, I gotta get a piece. I can't walk away without getting around in somewhere. But when you're sitting down watching it, you're intended just to go like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Krump is smart enough to know, like, you know, the safe distance. I mean, we've been around it before. We know how just to like escape like an arm swing, you know. Like we're very good at positioning ourselves, you know. If we got slight movement,
I don't know how many elbows, jabs, knees, headbutts I've had in my. Man, my 2020, he still throws me around when I'm next. He lifts me, pushes me, I'm like, ah! But it charges me up because I remember Krump being like that. There's a bit of violence to it, and what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're scared of that, go watch the ballet recital. You know, go. But if you want to experience Krump, man, that hype line, I believe that hype line moves that dancer. It lifts them. Because I know, everyone knows when you hop on that dance floor, man, the music's quiet, everyone's quiet, all of a sudden the floor's this big. The first thing you see in here is that energy roar behind you. You know, that's what clicks me in. Like, I come out there, I hear the music. The first, I'm like, I'm on. I'm like, You know, yeah, maybe you lose control here and there, but damn, that's what draws me in, is energy.
Yeah. I just the idea of just putting a limit on Krump, you know, like, you just got to let Krump be Krump. Whatever happens, that's what happens, man.
That's what happens. And I understand and I respect that Krump has its own history and it has its own starting point, and there's founders out there, co-founders who are paving the way and setting rules and regulations, but don't lose the essence of your Krump. You know, like don't lose you. You know, people say that Krump doesn't need us. It does, because everyone stopped Krumping, Krump wouldn't exist anymore.
Exactly. If
there was no Krump, so it needs us, and it needs you, it needs your story, but don't ever lose your identity to please someone else. You know what I mean? And for me, honestly, I don't give a fuck. If I'm at a Krump event, I'm on the hype line. Someone tells me, you know, get back off the hype line. I always say my foot is the hype line. Move me. Yeah, move my foot. Go on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. You know, if the dancer hits me, I'm like, like, I don't know if you saw that at Clash, man. I got that close to Bang, and then Bang hooks into me, and he drags me on the ground. I'm like, wilding out on it. When Syke did it to me at Blackout, there's a photo of me like this. And Syke has got his hand wrapped around me. Like, I love that sort of, I'm just like, you know, that's what Krump is to me. That's the epitome of Krump. Like, the energy is transferred. You know what I mean? I don't care if I'm in the way of your knee drop. Damn it. Take a step forward. It's my hype line.
My man. Well, Eternal.
Thanks
man,
for jumping on,
bro. Thanks for sharing those.
Watch the comments flow. Like I said, you know who I am.
Hey. My man.